What's up? Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Let me know if the audio is good. You guys remember Frog and Toad or Toad and Frog? It's- I just wanted to share. It's the little things in life, right? So, anyways, happy Friday. It's February, or it's not February at all. It's November. What do I look like? As a freaking Orthodox priest. Um, it's November 10th. Jeez. All right, we're on one today. It's November 10th, and it's Friday, like I said. We have some news. The Fed came, or Jerome Powell spoke yesterday. It was a 10-year auction yesterday. What else was there? There was also some news out of Meta, right? Interestingly enough. So let's cover some of that news. We'll go through our breakdown of our trade plan here and on the futures front on the screen here, and we'll jump into this. So the first things first, right? Meta Platforms, Meta is eyeing a return to China 14 years after Facebook was banned in the country. 14 years already. Damn, what is it? 2009. The firm inked a preliminary deal with Tencent to sell a lower priced version of its virtual reality headset Quest in China, with sales expected to start later this year later next year. And the deal would allow Meta to compete with TikTok owner ByteDance, yeah, which makes the VR headset Pico. And in other news, Amazon shoppers can now directly buy products from Facebook and Instagram ads, a feature that will most likely boost Meta's ad revenue, similar to Pinterest, right? Amazon's ad partnership. In terms of the main news that we had yesterday, right? The S&P, the 8-day win streak that we saw, right? Parabolic bounce from last week. Yeah, from last week. Has come to an end after a few hawkish comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell and a disappointing government debt auction that came out. It would have been the benchmark index's largest streak since 2004 and the 32nd such feat since 1928. Some little factoids there. Powell also warned that the FOMC was not confident it had achieved a level of sufficiency in restrictive monetary policy, and it wouldn't hesitate to further tighten if warranted. Following the speech, JP Morgan said his comments were a reminder that the Fed is still tightening, it's still in a tight bias, and Powell just told the markets to calm down with those dovish expectations after we rallied very, very aggressively. So, poor bond auction mixed with some hawkish comments pulls prices down, and they didn't pull down like crazy realistically, but we got a significant pull down back in towards the bottom end of the distribution block right now, bidding back above, and it's Friday. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty strong bid this morning. Very, very early, I'm in Europe time. I was talking to our traders in our trade room that we're probably going to hold these lows here and look for that run up. This over 20-point move now, 25-point move off of those lows. Did I think it would happen that quickly here pre-market? Not necessarily, but very good, juicy opportunity in that. We also had some more news out of the automotive sector, right? The union support following the wins at the Detroit 3. President Biden said he fully supports the efforts by the United Auto Workers to unionize other car makers like Tesla, Toyota, and Honda, right? Polls currently show that the higher percentage, about 70-ish% of Americans support unions than 5 years ago, right? So Toyota has said the decision to unionize is ultimately made by its team members, and while analysts largely agree that Tesla will not be unionized, it will most likely have to raise wages to some degree to stay competitive. So the UAW President Sean Fain expects the next labor contract negotiation round in 2028 to include 5 to 6 automakers, but the road to that target could be fairly bumpy, in his words. Now, in terms of news, this morning we had Fed's Logan coming in with a speech. We have Fed Bostic that apparently started speaking about 7 minutes ago. I'm not necessarily 100% sure about the economic mobility and challenges in the community, and that would wrap up the Fed speakers on this week, right? It was very, very heavily loaded with Fed speakers, and Jay Powell came on the wire twice, shaking the market up yesterday. and we'll see kind of how this opens up on the day session. The main thing that I'm looking at on the day session here on the S&P 500 futures, right, we're above some of these key areas, right? If we open up our trusty volume profiles here, we can see that into that low 60, we have the bottom end of a distribution block. So we're back within that. Once we open within that, realistically, I would like to see some buyers step in on dips, right, into that mid to low 70. And if we do target that 60 region again, low to mid 60, as a buyer, I would want to see strong bidding appear at that level to sustain, right? Because you start getting below that 60, they start opening up the potential for that downside leg. Immediate resistance at the 85 and 91, right? Acceptance above that, I think we really clear the skies, and it could be a parabolic day, right, if we continue to accept these distributions to the upside. But it's very imperative for these buyers to sustain a lot of the volume. You can see this green volume over here into this mid to low 70 to begin with. That's where I'm going to be eyeing buyers to step in earlier in the session. So quicker update, right? It's Friday. Generally, markets do tend to bull up into Friday closes. So I'll be watching for that kind of potential move today after a pretty decent downside leg that shook up, right, some late longs in the market, ran some stops, and now it looks like they want to continue the upside trend. So I don't want to be just blindly bullish, but I'm going to lean a little towards that bias to start the day, and then things can change naturally. So where I'm headed with this, and what we're going to do is open up our live trading room for this short update, right? Realistically, I want to wish you all a happy weekend. We'll do this again on Monday. And check out community.tradeproacademy.com and keep an eye out because Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and the end of the year are coming around. So there's going to be some interesting stuff coming out of TPA for that. So let's find the opportunities. Let's get on the train. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend and enjoy. Thanks, Ross. Like my shirt. Frog and Toad. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Marco. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. And